Two Dumb Guys with your hosts, Heath B and Barry P.
I'm the B and you're the P.
Facing tough topics.
So cheese first then chips, or chips then cheese?
With no solutions.
Oh no.
And no qualifications.
School.
Welcome to Dumb Guys Talk About Smart Stuff. If we're talking about sightings, I mean, they happen all the time, and there's probably a good number of them that could be written off as airplanes or, maybe someone is seeing Venus out there. Maybe someone is seeing...
Venus doesn't move.
Venus doesn't move, but people bob their heads and they weave, and and they might think things are moving. Pretty weak excuses to me, and I think those are things that, for instance, going back to the Neil deGrasse interview, where he talks about the police officer who was driving down a windy road, and he was basically what he thought was chasing a UFO. He was chasing Venus. Okay, well, that's what a skeptic throws out there to say, look, even a police officer can do this. You're not going to find me doing that, and you're probably not going to be doing it yourself. So you're going from one extreme to the other.
Yeah, you are, because you got those guys that say they're extreme skeptics, then you got the guys that are extreme believers. Say you've got the people that believe that reptilians are controlling the government,
right,
which might be the other end of the spectrum. And so I don't know. What do you guys think? You're somewhere in between there.
I'm definitely somewhere in between there, probably leaning a little bit towards the fact that I'm going to say that there's just no way that there are not aliens out there in the universe somewhere. Have they come to visit us? I don't know, but there is evidence out there. Phil, what do you think?
I believe we're probably not alone. I mean, I've never been visited that I know of, but who the hell knows?
Well, interestingly enough, you and I have both had alien-related dreams.
That's true.
Where
that's one of the...
We've both shown up in those dreams at different times.
That's very true.
So was your dream that Barry was abducting you?
No.
On the table?
That happened in real life, and we decided we weren't going to talk about that anymore.
Well, the mic's running, right?
It wasn't that kind of party.
I'll tell you my dream real quick. I had a dream. It was a very realistic dream. It was a dream where I was standing in a hangar, at the back of a hangar. I was looking out of that hangar to like a dusky night sky, and across the way was like a grass field. And Phil was standing there with me, and this UFO comes up from behind the grass. It was very realistic, but very mystical kind of feeling. Mm-hmm. It flew zoom into the hangar and by me, and that's really all what there was to it. But it was just the fact that I was standing there with Phil. It was very realistic, and there was this UFO. It was just it stood out to me.
Was it like a flying saucer style UFO?
It wasn't. It was more like it was almost oval shaped, and it had like three big lights, or maybe three big lights on the back of it, because it looked like I was looking at the back of it when it came up, and then it came whoosh, flying at me. It was weird.
Star Destroyer style?
No, not Star Destroyer style. No,
I just had a clear picture in my head.
You know what? You want to see a picture? Think of Boba Fett's Slave One.
Oh,
it was kind of shaped like that, a little bit.
Okay.
Smaller though. Mm-hmm. Phil, why don't you share your
my dream? Not quite that elaborate. You and I were standing on the front porch. I guess not really a porch. My old house. My front yard, let's call it. It's kind of small. So we're out of the front door there. We were in my yard, and there was an orb. And I can't remember if it flew into my hand or out of my hand, but I want to say it flew into my hand. And you were standing there with me, and we just watched it fly into my hand. I'm like, this is weird, and that was pretty much all I remember of it.
I mean, that's kind of... The weird thing is how much different those two dreams are. They're kind of similar. We were standing somewhere, we watched something fly towards us or whatever.
It was really bizarre.
Can I interpret that dream?
Yeah.
You and Barry are together. You're waiting for something great to come into your life. The orb is a representation of great knowledge. Obviously, it's prophecy that you guys are going to have me come into your lives.
Oh. Is that what that was?
Yeah,
You know
that's
what?
what it was.
Genius.
That is pretty genius. You want to talk about dropping knowledge? That's knowledge right there.
Yeah, shoot.
Back on topic though, with sightings out there and the possibilities. I believe that there's a lot of scenarios that point towards there have been visitations.